By the way, isn't that breeze nice? Do you feel the breeze? Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. See, now the press will take that and they'll say, he said a horrible thing.
Did you hear what Donald Trump just said? He said he doesn't care about you, only your vote. That was part of Donald Trump's speech in Las Vegas, where it was around 110 degrees. It was a disastrous speech where Trump kept making fun of the audience. Let me replay that clip so you can really absorb what he said. And there are more clips like that where Trump makes similar remarks about the crowd.
By the way, isn't that breeze nice? Do you feel the breeze? Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. See, now the press will take that and they'll say, he said a horrible thing.
Then Trump says, I've heard a lot of media reports expressing concern about your health. If you fall down, we'll have people splash water on you. But people should be worried about me. Why doesn't anyone care about me up here? That's what Trump says next.
We don't have enough time. And now, by the way, it's 110, but it doesn't feel it to me, right? So we'll stay out here for a little while. If anybody gets tired, you'll let me know. And if anybody goes down, if you start going down, we have people, they'll pick you up right away. They'll throw water. You know, they were so worried. Everybody was so worried yesterday about you. And they never mentioned me. I'm up here sweating like a dog. Secret Service said, we have to make sure everyone's safe. I said, what about me? Oh, we never thought of that. They don't think about me. I'm working my ass off. I'm working.
Then Trump criticizes the contractors who set up the microphone and teleprompter, saying he won't pay them, and starts swearing at them.
Tell them to make the microphone louder. It's terrible. Yeah. He just came up. Are the teleprompters not working? So not even a little bit. Great job. And then I don't pay the company that does it, right? And then I end up with a story Trump doesn't pay. I don't pay contractors that do a shitty job. And that's a shitty job. That's a shitty job. You can't read a word. But you know what? It usually ends up that the speech is better. It's crazy. Then they'll say, oh, isn't it terrible? Trump takes advantage of his No, I take great. When I have a good contractor or a subcontractor, nobody gets paid faster. But when I have contractors that do this kind of work, you can have them.
There's more complaining from Trump about the teleprompter here.
By the way, just in case you're wondering, I got no teleprompters, and I haven't from the beginning. These people. That probably means we'll make a better speech. No, I got no teleprompter. You know, I pay all this money to teleprompter people, and I'd say 20% of the time they don't work. They don't work. The thing's waving around. They can't tie it a little bit tighter. I'm trying to look at. So we're all in this together, everybody.
Then we reach the part of the Trump speech where he tells his audience they'd rather die than vote for President Biden.
Wouldn't it be incredible? He's gone to 250 if he voted for Biden. He's going to vote for Biden. I don't think so. I think it would be suicide before Biden, right?
Trump then has a moment of confusion.
And no third, I'll tell you what.
Then he starts swearing at special counsel Jack Smith.
I said, I don't want to get off like that. I did nothing wrong. It's Presidential Records Act. I did nothing. You know, we have a deranged individual named Jack Smith. He's a deranged, a dumb guy. He's a dumb son of a bitch.
Then Donald Trump mentions that he will thoroughly examine January 6th, asserting that the January 6th participants were treated unjustly.
We're going to let this happen with our country anymore. We're taking back our country. So when we get in, it's going to go very rapidly. We're going to do a lot of things. We're going to look very strongly at J6. Those people, there has never been people treated more horrifically than J6 hostages.
Donald Trump struggles to pronounce the word Hispanics.
War on the workers of America, especially African Americans and Hispanic Americans and African Americans are the ones suffering most with this incredible illegal alien group.
Donald Trump has difficulty saying the word military.
These are sick people, and I hope the military revolts at the voting booth and just says, we're not going to take it. They can say anything. They're a party of misinformation disinformation.
Then Donald Trump praises the insurrectionists again, calling them warriors.
But those J6 warriors, they were warriors, but they were really more than anything else. They're victims of what happened. All they were doing is protesting a rigged election. That's what they were doing. And then the police say, go in, go in, go in, go in. How about Scaffold Joe, the guy on the scaffold? Or how about the big FBI guy or whatever, wherever he comes from? Go on in, everybody, go on in. What a setup that was. What a horrible, horrible thing.
If you can decipher what he's talking about here, let me know. But this is part of Donald Trump's speech. You've heard us cover it before, where he mentions he'd rather be electrocuted than eaten by sharks. Here he says he's very intelligent because of his connection to MIT. And then he says, if a boat sank because it's powered by electricity, you could be eaten by sharks. And that's a significant issue Americans are facing now.
So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now. It really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark.
Then Donald Trump, in a classic act of projection, says you must be a psycho or very stupid to call our veterans suckers and losers. We all know Donald Trump himself called veterans suckers and losers. This is corroborated by multiple sources, including Trump's former chief of staff, retired General John Kelly.
Make up stories, disinformation, a story like that. Think of it from a practical standpoint. I'm standing there with generals and military people in a cemetery, and I look at them, I say, these people are suckers and losers. Now, think of it. Unless you're a psycho or a crazy person or a very stupid person, who would say that anyway? But who would say it to military people with military? Because as president of the United States, I would say if I made that statement, if I have generals here, if I have it, I would imagine that most of them would end up in a major fist fight with the president, okay? And you know what? I would have said it was okay in that one instance. They made up a story. They just, out of thin air, just like a lot of the fake stories are made up by these people, because they're among the most dishonest people in the country, the fake news. They're dishonest people.
Then Donald Trump repeatedly says the words Russia, Russia.
And it's just like Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 51 intelligence agents, that phony story, remember? The laptop is from Russia, they said. And they should be prosecuted for what they did. Okay, they should be prosecuted. Let's see what happens.
Donald Trump then boasts to the crowd about passing a dementia test.
No, you know, I had a second test. I aced it. I aced both of them. Not easy to ace.
Before Donald Trump spoke, Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about how she reveres people like Trump. She said, I worship Jesus, and he was a convicted felon. So Jesus was a convicted felon, and so is Trump. That's why she supports Trump.
The Democrats and the fake news media want to constantly talk about, oh, President Trump is a convicted felon. Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon. And he was murdered on a Roman cross.
Then the head of the Republican Party from the state spoke before Donald Trump. He said everyone there needs to revere Donald Trump. He said he worships Donald Trump.
What more can be said than thank God we're here in Sunset Park to worship and bring back the greatest president we've ever known in our generation.
Meanwhile, the Biden campaign released a harsh new video.
Leaders caught on camera laughing about President Trump.
Several world leaders mocking President Trump.
They're laughing at him.
My administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
World leaders mocking and ridiculing him for being completely off balance.
Allies are deeply worried about it. They say he's becoming increasingly isolated. Something is very wrong.
The world sees Trump for what he is: insincere, ill-informed, corrupt, dangerously incompetent, and incapable, in my view, of world leadership. And if we give Donald Trump 4 more years, we'll have a great deal of difficulty, if ever, being able to recover America's standing in the world and our capacity to bring nations together.
That's how world leaders view him. They laugh at him. Trump makes the United States the laughingstock of the world. There have been many billboards like this in Vegas, calling him a convicted felon. Additionally, the Biden campaign welcomed Trump to Las Vegas by taking over the homepage of the newspaper owned by one of Trump's major donors, Miriam Adelson. It reads, "Donald Trump, convicted felon, a disaster for Nevada's economy, a threat to America." It's the Las Vegas Review-Journal. There you have it, folks. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Just wanted to share those moments with you. Have a wonderful day. Hit subscribe.
Ah!